Good afternoon, everybody. It is David Perlmutter. I am the founder and CEO of QuantumListing, and I want to thank you for joining us today on our webinar about how to use Quantum Listing Chat to market your listings. Before we launch into our topic today, I want to thank our sponsor, the News Funnel. The News Funnel is an amazing resource for the commercial real estate industry in that it gives us lots of commercial real estate news aggregated into one convenient website or email. They monitor hundreds of different commercial real estate news sites and they bring it all together for you. And if you have a website or a blog, you can have a news feed from the News Funnel on your site. We do quantum listing, and I encourage you to do the same. Okay, so now that that business has been taken care of, our agenda today is to give you first an overview of quantum listing for those of you that are new, and then we're going to do a group and chats live demo, but before that, we're going to cover what are quantum listing groups, the 4 different kinds of chat, look at the groups and chats on the quantum listing website, and how you can use these to market your listings, which is really what I think brought you folks here. And then we'll leave some time for Q&A and tell you how to get in touch with us in the future and about some of our awesome webinars coming up. So quantum listing gives your listing maximum exposure by offering a range of features so you can market your properties without breaking your budget. You can post an unlimited number of listings with the ability to market them seamlessly on all forms of popular social media. Not to mention, we also share your listings to our social media. And even better, there is no paywall for potential buyers or tenants to view your properties on our site. So that is the short form, and then we'll give you a little more detail. So we're a crowdsourced service, so that means we expect you to add your listings. We do offer a white glove service if you would prefer that we do that for you. And if you are a user of Build Out or Sharp Launch, you can syndicate your listings from those, and we're about to add the CRE Collaborative as another way for folks to syndicate their listings to us. One of the beautiful things about quantum listing is that all of our listings and all of your listings are searchable by anyone with an internet connection. There's no paywall or registration required to search or access your listings or your contact information. All of our new members get the first 30 days of premium membership for free, and then it's $89.99 to post unlimited listings. And believe me, when I say unlimited listings, we have some people that have, hundreds of listings on our site, and we think that's great. Brokers and owners can post an unlimited listing for that same low price. It's just $89.99 per year per agent. We recently introduced a new suite of on-demand advertising features that can give your listings an increased exposure in your market. You get the leads on all your listings, and you can subscribe to a service for additional leads from our landing page. Commercial real estate is a collegial business. I'm a commercial real estate broker myself and have been for 32, wait, what year is this? Yeah, 34 years. And I think that commercial real estate technology is also a collegial business, and we have some wonderful partnerships with other commercial real estate tech companies, including Build Out, Sharp Launch, CRE Collaborative, Land Checks, Levitt Digital, The News Funnel, Atypical, and StackSource. And happy to have a conversation with any of you about those things if you need it. And so we have free mobile apps for iOS and Android, and there are links at the bottom of our site, so you can get those if you want. Uh, Same login as for your regular Quantum Listing site. You can use Quantum Listing to blast your listings to your proprietary distribution list by securely loading up a spreadsheet with your contacts on it. And you can also, members can use our Quantum Listing to serve their listings to their website or blog at no additional cost. And all registered members are assigned to a state network based on their geographic area and a group, and we're going to talk a lot about groups today, to which they can post their commercial real estate wants. Quantum Listing shares your listings to its social media feeds on Twitter, LinkedIn, and Facebook. Premium members can access real-time analytics for their listing views, profile views, listing shares, and more. And it looks like it's time for a live demo, but I think before we get to the live demo, I'll tell you what, we'll go to the website and then we'll take it from there. But here's our, when you're logged in, this is the listing feed page. So while you can have a look at that. Your listings, by the way, show up on this page when you first add them until somebody else's listing sort of push them off. Okay, so let's continue. We have developed a very innovative way for you to add your marketing activities, and reach more potential customers. We're going to give you an incentive to try it out at the end of the webinar. And then more than ever today in this wacky world we're living in, owners and agents need to find new and cost-effective ways to market their properties. We recently had a blog post, 9 ways to stay connected on Quantum Listing. We discussed some of the ways Quantum Listing can be a part of your marketing plan in that article, and including posting your listings on social media and utilizing our network email blasts. And today we're going to introduce you to another way our premium members can use our site to reach potential buyers and tenants. In case you're unfamiliar with our Quantum Listing groups, let me give you a little info on that. And then after that, we will actually go to the website and see this stuff in action. So when we initially created groups, we created groups for each asset class. So there's like a retail group, industrial group, office group, etc. We also created wants groups for each of the 50 states. And they had a couple of purposes. It was an easy way for you to see who the Quantum Listing members were in your market and to see their listings. And the chat in those was intended to be a bulletin board for each market, so you could crowdsource your property searches, especially if what you were looking for was not yet on our site. But it really occurred to us that these groups could be so much more. And we wanted to find a way to make them more useful to you. So we did some reimagining of our state wants groups. And they were rebranded to state haves and wants groups just in the last couple of weeks, because we realized that our chat function, when combined with the groups, is an easy and potentially powerful marketing vehicle for you. So we had the team add the ability to add a link to your listings in those chats, and it is included in your Quantum Listing Premium membership. So it makes sense to add it to your marketing strategy, because if you're a premium member, you already got that going for you. You're already paying for that. Please note that if your membership is expired, you will be able to read chat messages, but not post them until your membership is renewed. You can access the chat menu from your profile page by clicking you know what, let's go show you. Why just talk when you can see? All right, here we go.
And David, we do have a couple of questions already from Mark, and we'll get to those. But I did just want to point that out. And looks like we have another active participant, Antoine. Antoine, we'll get to your question as well. So thank you guys for participating.
Okay. Let me just have a quick look at the questions at the order they came in. What about the ratio or data surrounding leads received? Does it give you the actual lead info, or do you have a higher subscription level like Crexy? So Antoine, as long as your membership is current, you will get your leads for your listings. If your membership is not current, then they don't go to somebody else if it's for your listing. It will just sort of sit waiting for you to renew your membership. You'll get an email saying you have a lead and encouraging you to sign up. Sometimes, if we feel it's inadvertent, that your membership has lapsed, we'll give that to you, or just a gesture of goodwill, we'll give that to you. But I'm not entirely sure what Crexy's practices are, but I do know that what we do is try to be as fair to you as possible. Again, I'm a real estate broker. I know how important leads are, and I want you to get them. And then you followed up with another question. What syndication channels are available? So you can syndicate from us to Levitt Digital. They have a network of hundreds and hundreds of local news sites. We're about to go live with the CRE Collaborative, syndicating to them as well. And if you're a premium member for us, you'll be treated as a premium member for CRE Collaborative. And then incoming, we have Build Out and Sharp Launch, and we're talking with some of the big brokerages about having API connections from them as well, but that is down the pipeline as well. And Mark says, since LoopNet and CoStar are the major sites for everyone to view listings, what steers them to your site, and how do you plan to compete with the big boys? Great question. So we have very good search engine optimization. So we get a lot of our traffic from the from search engines. So that's one way. And it's not just for your listings. If you have a profile, if you're a member and your profile is here, we get a lot of traffic directly to your profile. So you should really make sure you add a profile picture, a bio, your social media links, LinkedIn, if you have a business Facebook, that too, Twitter. So that is something. Things that we do, and how do we plan to compete with the big boys? Just by being more affordable, because I know I don't have CoStar anymore, but in my brokerage business, I still have a LoopNet subscription. I have a grandfathered rate for 15 listings, and they charge me $8,000 a year. Right, so my QuantumListing subscription is $89.99 a year for unlimited listings. So, real estate brokers are smart. They'll figure that out. We do not spend a lot of money ourselves on Google advertising. That's one of the ways that we keep your rates low. We do offer you the opportunity to advertise on the Google Display Network through us. It gives you the option of how much you want to spend and when you want to spend it, instead of having to pay an ungodly sum for them controlling when your stuff is advertised and where. So basically, by being more customer oriented and service oriented, is how we plan to compete. Plus, I've been a broker and a developer for 34 years. I'm stubborn. I know good things take a long time. I'm in this for the long haul, and I'm taking you guys along with me. So I hope that answers your question. And let's see. One last question before we get into the presentation from Mark. Some other listing services receive my listings by syndication at no charge to me. Can you explain the difference with Quantum? Well, we do charge a very nominal fee, $89.99 a year. We think it's fair. We hope you do as well. We're not advertising supported. We're not selling you, we are selling you other services on our site, such as promoting your listings so that they show at the top of searches, or you can subscribe to the lead capture, or you can do a brand promotion thing so that when people search in your market, your marketing message will show up at the top of that search. But we're not like a free listing service so that we can sell you something else. We are a listing service. And just like you like to get paid for the work that you do, we like to get paid for what we do. And we think it's fair. So I hope that answers your question. And now let us go and talk about our groups and our chats. So when you sign up for QuantumListing, we will add you to a group based on your geographic area. And here you can find your groups here on the left-hand sidebar menu of your profile page. And if you're new, if you're anywhere on our website, for instance here, and this is where your brand promotion would show up, by the way. If you click the Head and Shoulders icon here in the top right, that brings you to your profile page. And groups are here, and you click on My Groups, it will tell you what groups you're in. We have two types of groups. We have public groups that anybody can join, and we have private groups. And the private groups, you can request to join some of them, and you can, if you can request to join them, and you can also decide whether or not you want group members, whether it's a public group or a private group, to be able to invite other people into the group. So that is the group. So as I said earlier, we have haves and wants groups for every state and for all the different interest groups. If you feel that you have been assigned to the wrong group and want to get out of it, you can just click this button here that looks like a trash can to leave the group. And if you want to join any of the other groups, all you have to do is click the plus sign here, and that will let you join the group. And if before you decide to join the group, you can click this icon that looks like an eye to show you the details of the group. Let's have a look at the Florida group, for instance. So when you are looking at the group details, you can see all the different users in that group. You can see all those users' listings, and you can chat with that group. So, and when you're doing the group chat, it will allow you to post a message to everybody. And let me just point out one other thing with the users in your group. If you click through to any of the users, you just can start a peer-to-peer chat with those users as well. Okay, I see we have another question. Mark asks, how long has QuantumListing been in business, and how many current subscribers are there, and how many in my city? All right, so we have been around for about 5.5 years. We started out as a mobile-first service, so we were just an iOS app in the beginning, and then we added Android in the website. The website is a much better way to add your listings than a mobile solution just because you got a keyboard and just easier. I'm not sure what city you're in, Mark, so I can't help you on that one. And it would take a little research to get that answer, even if I did know. And are there both residential and commercial listings on Quantum? We are 98% or 99% commercial. People can add residential listings, but it's not something that we're really marketing to. So that is thing. So Mark, we'll get back to you on the number of folks in Oklahoma. Okay. In the meantime, let's get back to our groups, but always happy to take a little diversion there. So you're in this left-hand sidebar menu. You have the group feeds, which will show you all the recent changes in your group. So it'll tell you, what have people been deleting or adding, and in terms of listings and possibly agents in their company. And so that covers the feeds, and it's a great way to every once in a while check in there, see what's going on in your market. Of course, you can look at the group listings, and if you're in multiple groups, you can select which group it is that you want to look at, and you can also see the group members here as well. So very handy stuff. And so that is sort of the overview of the groups. Now with the chat, we have several different types of chat. There are 4 different types of chat. And if you, the way to access chat messages, the one easy way to do it here is there's this icon above your profile picture, and that you click on to open up the chat menu. And we have, as I mentioned, 4 different types of chat. There's peer-to-peer chats that are one-on-one chats with colleagues. There are group chats, which are chats within those groups that you have either joined on your own or that we've assigned you to. And then there's expanded chats, which is what started out as a peer-to-peer chat, and then you can add another colleague into the conversation if you want. So that's an expanded chat. And then group sub-chats are when you're in your group and you want to chat with one of your group members, that becomes a group sub-chat. So that hopefully explains the different types of chats. And so let's keep moving on here. So you can, because these are included with your membership, these groups and chat ability, one of the things that we now feel that you really should do is to share your listings to these groups using our on-site chat. And I'll show you how to post a message in your group. And there are 2 fast and easy methods. I'll tell you about them first, and then we'll go look at them. So you go to your profile page, which is where we are right here. And again, if you're not on your profile page, you get there by clicking the Head and Shoulders icon on the top right. And then you scroll down to see the submenu, the left-hand sidebar menu, and then look for groups and click on that to open up the groups submenu. Click on My Groups, and you identify the group to which you want to post your message in your listing. And method 1 is to click on the chat icon and add your message. So that would mean that you would click on this right here and add your message. And the second method is to click on the I icon and see your group details, and then click the green group chat button and add your message. All right, so let's go to my commercial brokerage site. Sorry, here we are. And I will post a real live listing on a real live uh, haves and wants group. And let's do that. So here is a listing I have in my former hometown of Chappaqua, New York. And it is a retail listing in a mixed use building. There's a frame shop over here, and off to the left, can't see it in this picture, is a women's clothing store, a boutique. Both have been there forever. Great location. It's at the main corner in downtown Chappaqua. And so just to make things a little fast and easy, I'm going to copy and paste this here first. And I'm, let's see, no, let me think about that. Let's take this right here. I'm going to copy the URL. And I'm going to go to my group, going back to my profile page, go to my groups, and I'm going to my Westchester area brokers and owners, and I'm going to enter the group chat, and I'm going to say we are pre-leasing a retail / professional office space at 1 South Greeley Avenue in downtown Chappaqua. Oh, I should please click the link to learn more. I ordinarily would do a little more detailed, but just in the interest of time, and we're doing that. Okay, so now I've pasted my hyperlink in there, and I'm hitting send or enter. And so here the message is in blue, and the hyperlink is there, and you can see it takes you back to the listing. So that makes it's super easy. And the nice thing about this is in my Westchester Brokers group, there are 71 members. So I don't have to send an email blast to those people if I don't want to. Or I can do an email blast and do this because that's, we all know sometimes you feel like reading listing emails, and sometimes you hit delete before you open them up. So the more different ways that you are potentially getting your listings in front of people, the more likely that you're going to find that right person, and that right person is going to find you. I often say you never know where your next deal is coming from, and look, we all know signs are great. Internet, listing sites are great sources. Referrals are absolutely the best. But having ways to network with your colleagues in new and interesting ways, is really a positive thing. And the more people that are in the groups, the more likely that somebody will either need it themselves, or have somebody who needs it, or know somebody who knows somebody who needs it. Um, Real estate is not a cookie cutter business, and you do want to have systems and practices, but you have to be willing to be creative and try new things, and see what sticks. At the time, because you never know. All right, so let me continue. The other thing that you can do with these, you can post these in your groups, but why not also think about sending a peer-to-peer message, a more personalized message to the members in your group? I'm not going to send the same people I just put that message into, but if you enter a group subchat here by clicking the link, I could send Gary here a message. Hi Gary, do you have anyone for this listing? And then paste it in, and so depending on how much time you're willing to invest, you can do the shotgun approach, or you can do the rifle approach where you're just doing it one-on-one. And we like that you have that option, and it really depends on you and how you like to relate to people as to how you want to do it. And we like to give you that choice because only you know what's best for you. So that is what I have to say about that. So how will your colleagues know that you have sent them a chat message? So there are a few different ways. One way is that once a day, if there are new messages in your group or a new peer-to-peer message waiting for you on the Quantum Listing website, you'll get an email. But if you are already on the website, there will be indicators. For instance, you see right here above my logo is a chat icon and the number 2. So that means that there are 2 messages waiting for me here. And one is in a peer-to-peer chat and one is in a group chat. And I don't know what they are. They may be test messages I sent, but let's find out. So the way you know,
Probably.
that's Julia from our team, and she sent probably a test message. So let's see what it says here. Okay, so this is a sample peer-to-peer chat. It's just me and you, kid. Thanks, but we're part of a large and vibrant community, and it's growing. And that is true, and it's exciting to be a part of something like this. All right, so that was that chat. And then in the group chat, this is probably the one that I just added. Yep, it is. So that is how you see those chats, how you get to them. So email, this notification here, it's no longer green because I have looked at those. And then there's also a notification bell up here next to your profile icon. And if that's lit up green, you should click on it and you can then see the messages that were waiting for you. And if you want to respond, you just click on it and you'll go to that chat and you'll be able to respond that way. And so we were talking about one of the other types of chats that we have, which is the expanded chat. So if I'm in a conversation with Promoter Properties and our esteemed user, the webinar test, and we're going to add, let's add Julia from our team into this conversation. So, all right, I'm clicking on Julia, hitting create. Oh, I forgot to give my chat a new name. Okay, so we now have a new chat, and let's see how that shows up here. So that was an expanded peer-to-peer chat. Oh, and that's my new chat with Julia right there. Right. And one thing that you should know is that we will be monitoring the chats. So if we see something that is inappropriate, we will delete it. I don't think that this is a very this has not doesn't have a history of being a spammy site. So I don't think that we'll end up with anything inappropriate. But we will keep an eye on it just because we don't want you being offered things that aren't related to commercial real estate through this service here. And because people do have to be premium members to add those chat messages, we think that will pretty much regulate that and keep people from doing inappropriate things. Uh, so, uh, as we continue to grow our user base and add members to the groups, you're going to find that the network effect will make these an increasingly effective way to market your listings. And to the extent that you're one of the first people to use this, there is a first mover advantage. It's just like, when email was young, I would get, 10 or 20 emails a day and be so excited. Now I get 500 emails a day and I'm not so excited. But, and one of 10 or 20 emails stands out, one of 500, not so much. I generally, I use SaneBox to manage my emails because I get listing emails from my brokerage company from all over the country. And, I'm really working in New York, New Jersey, and Connecticut, so I can go through my emails very quickly. If anybody wants to know more about SaneBox, shoot me an email later, and I'll be happy to show you that. And Julie, did I miss any questions while I was yakking? Chatting, not yakking. Yakking has.
Well, I was just talking to Antoine about the listings in the Maryland, DC area. And I think you answered Mark's question about tracking referrals, unless I'm mistaken.
Let's see. Let me see what Mark's question about tracking. Is there a way to track referrals as well as leads from other members and outside of the member groups, such as a way to add and track leads from other sources? Uh, let's see. I think we don't have a way to track referrals at this point, other than, well, through our. Hmm. We don't, but let me think about that, and maybe it's something we should add. And if you and I want to have a conversation offline, I'd like to pick your brain a little bit more about that and your experience with that on other sites.
Yeah, and Mark, I'll just say, a lot of these features that have been added over the last few years have come from users like you who are thinking outside the box. So we really appreciate your feedback, and we'll definitely put it into consideration as we continue to improve the site.
Yeah, one of the things that I would like to show you where's Promoter Properties? Here we are. Okay, and one of the things that will help you with your principles when you're doing your monthly reportings. We have a great analytics section on our site, and you can drill down on an individual listing or see your listings in aggregate, and you can track them over a week, a month, or all time. You can also see the number of times your account has been viewed, the number of times your various agents in your shop have been viewed. If people have been sharing your profile, you get to see that here. Listing shares. If you have uploaded a PDF and somebody downloads it, you get to see that. If you don't have a PDF, QuantumListing will create one based on the information that you have provided on the site, and it won't be as great as one that you produce yourself, but it'll have all the pictures you've added, it'll have all the data you've added, description, and of course your contact information. So that is, a neat thing. Plus, if you do take advantage of any of our extras, like advertising through the Google Display Network, or promoting your listings so that they show up at the top of searches in your market, or you subscribe to lead capture, or you're promoting your brand, there's metrics available for all those here our um, in our analytics section. And should you want to take advantage of any of those extra services, just click the button to go to the Marketing Center and pick the one that you want to do that. I will say for the adver advertising with Google, the minimum spend is $25, and it is so worth it because your listing will get anywhere between 20 and 40,000 views, depending on 20,000 and 40,000, not 20 uh, views, depending on what market you're in. And even though the click-through ratio isn't high because of the volume of views that it's getting, you're still getting a very, very good number of clicks through to your listing. And I think it's really a great spend. The people who try it usually end up doing it multiple times, and it's not because they like throwing money away, it's because it works. I've done it myself, for my brokerage, and I think it's fantastic. And we've chosen to use the display network rather than Google search ads just because you get a lot more bang for your buck. Search ads for commercial real estate, can range anywhere from $1.50 a click to 30 or 40 or more, depending on what market you're in. So would you rather get one click, or would you rather get 30 clicks? So I would recommend giving it a shot if you have the listings on our site and have $25 to start an experiment. We have another question. Let's see what Antoine asks. Are you able to differentiate between individual condos versus the building itself when adding a listing? You would do, the answer to your question, Antoine, is you would, in your description, and I'll show you, let's go to a listing. You could add that information either in the title, they are limited in the number of characters, or you could, in your description of the listing, you could say exactly what it is. And like I said, Mark asked about the $25. That was for advertising using the Google Display Network through our site. And again, happy to talk to you more about that offline. We did offer you, who are watching this live, an incentive to try using the group to promote your listings. So if you try that in the next 24 hours, so basically by the close of business tomorrow, we will promote your listings in your market so that they show up in this spot right here. They show up at the top of searches when people search in your listing. So we'll give you a month of promoted listings in your market just for trying out that group chat feature with linking to your listing.
And David, for an example, if you search California, USA in our location, you can see a bunch of our promoted listings and see how they can stand out among the rest.
Okay, so we don't promote more than 5 listings, or don't show more than 5 promoted listings at a time. But you can see these are all promoted listings. The way you can tell whether a listing is promoted or just part of an organic search is that they do have a green band around them. So that is how you know when you're looking at a promoted listing. And if you do your brand promotion, I think I said this before, but it will show up here in this space instead of our own marketing message. I think, let's see, I'll show you an example of what that looks like since I have you and we have a little more time. So Becca Carlson from Carlson Integrated, or Carlson Real Estate, she also has a marketing company, Carlson Integrated, did this one, and you can see, she did a beautiful job with her advertisement, and when you click on it, it takes you to her profile page and her listings, and she did a nice job on building out her profile, so she's got a nice picture and added a bio, and also links to her social media. One other thing which, what time we got? We got 10 minutes, so we got time for your questions. Any further questions? And to finish up our business, you can share your profile to your LinkedIn, Facebook, or Twitter by clicking this sharing icon on your profile page, which is another neat little feature that we have. Or if you want to use QuantumListing to serve your listings to your website, you can use what's called an iframe, and either you or your web person can copy and paste this code, just changing the height here from 100% to a number of pixels. And it's super easy. In my brokerage company, Promoter Properties, that's how we get our listings on. And the beautiful thing is, as I change things on QuantumListing, they're automatically updated in real time on my website. Before I started doing this, the process was laborious. I would send the new listing or changes to listings to my designer. The designer would make the changes, send them back to me, approve them. Then after I approved them, she would send them to the coder, and then the coder would implement them. And it could take 2 weeks, before the information was live on my website. Now it happens in a matter of minutes instead of a matter of weeks, and it's super easy, and I don't have to worry about it. And the iframe sits within your website, so it's your branding, your messaging surrounding it. It's just that the listings are coming from us at QuantumListing to your website. But if you have a website and you're looking for a solution like that, it's included with your membership. I know that LoopNet does LoopLink, and I'm sure they charge a hefty sum for that. You can also do create individual pages for your listing and send out your listings to your social media. And if you want to have an individual page for your individual listing, you can do that again with that iframe code, which is and again included. So it's all for you. So one more thing I'd say before I wrap up this part of the presentation is that I mentioned the network effect, which is as more people use something, say when the first person had a telephone, one person had a phone, who's he going to call? Nobody. But the more people that got telephones, the telephone got very, very useful. Same with social media, like Facebook, when it was just a couple of college kids, not so much used to you and me. But as it grew into a platform with 1 billion plus people on it, you got a lot of utility out of it. So I think one of the questions before is how many users do we have on our site? So we have about 5,400 registered users, but because we're an open platform where anybody can see your listings, there's we really have more users than that. Those folks won't be able to see the groups, but they will be able, unless they join, but they will be able to see your listings, which is super, super important if you're a broker. So how does the network effect apply here to our conversation about groups? So one of the things that you can do with groups, let's go to groups. So say you are a broker in Westchester County, New York, where my office was until recently, and you want to invite some of your colleagues who aren't currently using QuantumListing to join QuantumListing. Hold on a second. I'm having a temporary. Wait, I know. Sorry. Okay, here we go. So what you can do is click on the pencil and paper icon, and then type in the first name and last name of the person you want to add and their email address, and click edit here. And then once you have done that, they'll get an invitation, and by doing that, they will become members of QuantumListing and members of the group all in one fell swoop. So that's a way that you can help yourself by getting more people involved in this, and being able to see your message. Yeah. So I think, Julia, did I forget anything? I don't think I did. Let's go back to, wrong way.
Sorry, I was muted.
On, where am I? There we are. Okay, here we go. All right. All right. So if you have any other questions, please, feel free to put them in the chat box right now. To contact us, you can call us at 844-QL1-LIST or 844-751-5478. Email us at support@quantumlisting.com. You can email me personally at david@quantumlisting.com, or if you want to talk to Julia, and Julia's great, Julia@quantumlisting.com. Julia is our customer success advocate, so she is 100% in your corner. You can schedule a demo from a link at the top of all the pages of our website. There's a green button from which you can schedule. You'll look at our calendar and pick a time that works for you. Intercom is a little circle at the bottom of every page, just about on the bottom right hand side. I'm sure you've seen them on other websites as well. You click on it, a chat will start, and you can send us a message. If we're online, then we'll get back to you right away. Otherwise, we'll get back to you in a few hours. We are very, very customer focused here, and we are very responsive, and we love talking to our customers or potential customers. So you'll find that we will get back to you in hours or a day, depending if it's a weekend or something. But don't worry about that. And then, of course, you can comment on our weekly blog posts. We have a lot of fun writing the blog, and we find that there's a lot of good information. And of course, we have our How It Works section on the top, which is accessible from the top of every page. We have dozens of articles about all the different features on QuantumListing. So please, check that out as well. And if you see something that we don't have an answer to, on the Contact Us page, there's a little box that you can type in a question to, and we'll either answer you one-on-one, or we'll answer you one-on-one and create a article answering your question, because maybe it was something that we forgot to cover, or you just have a very unique, great question. We do webinars just about every Wednesday, and it's not always just me talking. We try to get a lot of industry experts and other technology companies to come talk to us about what's going on in their world. Uh, May 6th, next Wednesday, we have the inimitable, incomparable Andrew Bermudez of Digsy to come talk with us. He's been on our webinar a bunch of times, and the reason why we keep having him back is because he's awesome. So you'll get to see him talk about how to instantly generate leads. So he's always got some interesting tricks up his sleeve. And then the following week, we're going to be talking with Andrew Flint, who is a co-founder of Occupier.com. They have a very cool technology that helps in transaction management. And May 20th, which would have been ICSC, this is the first year since 1988 that I will not be going to ICSC Recon in Las Vegas. And I'm disappointed. I love going to and seeing friends, and it's usually very productive and always meet some new people. But not this year, my friends. But we're going to do something on QuantumListing, we think, on that Wednesday to hopefully make up for a little bit of that juice and that action that you get out at Recon. Unfortunately, we will not be able to provide you with the In-N-Out burgers that we do when we have our Let's Get Smart speaker series on Wednesday at Recon, but you know, this year has got is full of lots of little disappointments like that. And, I'll catch you next year, hopefully at Recon, and buy an In-N-Out burger on Wednesday then. Don't have anything. We're not doing a webinar on June 3rd, but June 10th, the news funnel is going to be our featured guest. And they're going to be talking to us about their new and improved website, which is coming out. June 17th, we're still planning that. And June 24th, we have Oh, I missed the May 27th. They're by proxy, which is a great new technology. They have lots of different services, including a listing service, but we won't hold that against them. And they've got a really cool new auction feature that they're going to be introducing. So hopefully they'll be able to tell us about that as well. And June 24th, build out, intro to build out with Eva Basca. And again, build out is just an awesome service for creating incredible marketing materials, and they help you build your website. And they have a new suite of called Build Out Elite that has some sort of backroom operation type of stuff in it. So we'll get the lowdown on that from Eva. Eva is fantastic. She's one of the brains behind the DNA of CRE poll, which survey, which is done every year. Maybe the results will be out by then. And she'll share some of that with us. I don't know, but tune in and you'll find out. I think that concludes our presentation. It looks like we're out of time as well. So thank you for being with us today. And I'm going to pause the recording. And if you have questions, we'll stick around a little longer. Thanks to Julia for her help in preparing for this today. And thank you, everybody, for your time. We know how valuable your time is. It's our stock in trade. So I'm deeply appreciative that you spent some of it with us. Thanks.